This is the SierraBlaster battery-powered capacitive initiator. It can replace the standard trigger that comes with the system. It has the same twist lock connector, so you'd follow the standard instructions but use the battery-powered initiator instead of the standard trigger. The standard trigger requires a 110-volt power source. The capacitive initiator operates off of 3 AA batteries. As long as you're using 3 blast heads or less, it'll work great. Don't use any more than 3. 3 is the maximum. So you can use 3 or 2 or 1. You'll get about 100 charge cycles on those 3 batteries. When you go to use it, their instructions are right here on the front. But basically you hold down the charge button, and right now those batteries are charging up some capacitors to about 300 volts at about 10 joules of power. And when the light comes on, you're ready to go. So if you're ready to fire, you keep the charge button pressed and press the fire button. And as soon as you press the fire button, everything will initiate. If something happens and you need to abort the blast, just let go of the charge button and the system will disarm. Here are 3 cartridges with just igniters, no propellant. So you're going to hold down the charge button as we've gone over before. The first time you use the system for the day, it might take about 45 seconds for it to charge up. Each subsequent blast should be about 15 seconds. As long as that light comes on bright, there's enough juice in the batteries to charge the capacitors up to set them off. So as soon as you hit the fire button, they go off. Here's 3 cartridges, again, just igniters, no propellant, with the standard 110-volt trigger.
Here we go with the battery-powered capacitive initiator.
How to determine when you need to replace the batteries is how long it takes for this light to light up. The very first time you use the box for the day, it's going to take about 45 seconds of holding the charge button down to get this light to light up with new batteries. Each subsequent blast will take about 15 seconds. So as long as that light lights up, there's enough power in the system to set off up to 3 blast heads. So if you're holding the charge button down and it's taking 30 seconds every time, or 40 seconds, or 50 seconds every time you want to blast, then go ahead and replace the batteries. The buttons are a little stiff because we used heavy-duty buttons, so you don't want to really be holding that down for a minute. So once it starts taking longer than you're comfortable with, then replace the batteries. The initiator will come with 3 batteries, but they won't be installed. They'll be Duracell, Energizer, Kirkland, or some other reputable brand that you've heard about. On the back, you'll want to unscrew this lid with the number 2 Phillips. The flat side goes towards the spring. You'll notice there's a little saddle in there to keep the batteries in place. So if it's not sliding in easy, you're probably hitting that saddle. And then the lid goes on. There's a tab, so it goes in first and hinges on that. It's going to screw into this threaded insert, so you're not screwing directly into plastic. We're using quality components. Press down on the lid and screw it in with the number 2 Phillips. Your system's multi-tool has a number 2 Phillips, so you could use that. And then don't over tighten it. Once it's tight, make sure you press around the edges. There's an O-ring seal. We want to make sure that everything's as water resistant as possible. So just press around that and then you're ready to go.